Hi, welcome to the chemistry session. Today I am discussing the unit chemical kinetics of 12th standard chemistry. In chemistry, we come across fast reactions such as explosive reactions and slow reactions such as rusting of iron. Why these reactions are fast and slow, and what are the factors that affect the speeds of these reactions? All these things we will discuss under this unit, chemical kinetics. So let us start. Let's first see what is chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of rates of reactions and factors affecting the rates of reactions. When I say rate, there is a specific meaning for this word rate. Let's see this. What is rate? The change in any property with respect to time is called rate. It can be any property. If it changes with respect to time, then we call it as rate. So the point time is very important. So rate is the ratio of change to time. Coming to the concept, what is rate of a reaction? Let's see. The change in concentration of a reactant or product with respect to time is the rate of a reaction. So during a reaction, the property that changes with respect to time is the concentration. And concentration of both reactant and product will be changing. Anyway, in a reaction, the concentration of reactant decreases, whereas the concentration of product increases. Let's see the example. If R gives P is a reaction where R is a reactant and P is the product of this reaction, then rate is given as minus dr by dt, which is same as plus dp by dt. Here the symbol or sign minus indicates the decrease of concentration of reactant, and the sign positive indicates the increase of concentration of product. These signs can be understood when we draw the graph. So let us see how to explain this rate of reaction with the help of graph. To represent graphically, I would first consider the meaning of instantaneous rate of reaction. Here I have a reaction represented as A times A plus B times B, giving C times C and D times D. Let this be a balanced chemical equation. Let us assume that small letters A, B, C and D as coefficients, whereas A and B in capital letters are reactants, C and D in capital letters are products. Then, according to our understanding, rate is written as negative 1 by A of dA by dt. Here there are two important points. One is why this negative sign. Just now I explained negative sign indicates the decrease of concentration of reactant, whereas the ratio of 1 to A is because this property or quantity is for 1 mole. In the reaction, it is said A moles. Therefore, to convert that into 1 mole, we divide the ratio by A. Similarly, for B, we have the ratio 1 by B. For C, 1 by C, and for D, 1 by D. Anyway, for C and D, we have positive signs. These two indicate the increase of concentration of products. So this is the equation representing instantaneous rate of reaction. At a given interval or at a given point of time, what is the rate of reaction is actually the meaning of instantaneous rate of reaction. After understanding this equation, we will move on to the representation using graph. Now let's say R gives P is a reaction where R is reactant, P is product. I consider the concentration of reactant along y-axis and time along x-axis. We know that during a reaction, when time is 0, when t value is 0, the concentration of reactant will be maximum. Let us assume that the reactant concentration is maximum and represented as R0, which is concentration at the time 0. As the time progresses, as the time increases, the concentration of reactant decreases exponentially. Remember, this decrease is not a linear decrease. It follows an exponential path. The reason is, as the time progresses, as the concentration of reactant decreases, even the decreasing speed decreases. It is very similar to the example where there is a tank full of water and we have opened the tap of the tank. As the water gets emptied in the tank, even the force of flow decreases. In a similar manner, there will be decrease in the decrease of concentration of reactant with respect to time. Similarly, we can represent the rate with respect to product. Here, I consider product concentration on y-axis and time along x-axis. As we know in the reaction, when time is 0, that is at the beginning of the reaction, the amount of product will be 0. As the time progresses, as the time increases, even the concentration of product increases and follows the exponential path. So these two are the representations of variation of concentration of reactant and product with respect to time. Now let us see how to calculate rate using this graph. Imagine at a point of time t, at the point t, we want to know what is the rate of reaction. Drop a perpendicular to the path or the curve. At the point of contact, draw a tangent to the curve and calculate the slope of this tangent. As we know, the slope is dy by dx, which is dr by dt. You know this line is sloping downward, which means the slope will be negative. And rate can never be negative. Negative value of rate will be meaningless. So to compensate this, we introduce a minus here. So the negative of negative becomes positive, which represents the rate with respect to reactant. On the other side, in this case, at the point T, again drop a perpendicular to the curve and draw a tangent to the curve. Determine its slope. Slope is once again dy by dx or dp by dt for this graph. Already the line is sloping upward and the slope will be positive. You need not multiply with negative sign here so that it represents the rate with respect to product. So we have calculated the rate of reaction at the point of time t, and similar calculation can be done at any point of time over this axis on both the graphs. Therefore, we call this method of determination as instantaneous rate of reaction. Now let us see what is the unit of rate of reaction. We know that the rate of reaction is ratio of concentration to time. Just now we have seen in case of graphical representation, there was a rate concentration along y-axis and time along x-axis. Therefore, the SI unit becomes mole per liter, which is of concentration in numerator, and second in the denominator. Therefore, per second will be the unit. Mole per liter per second is the standard unit of rate of reaction. Going further, let us discuss law of mass action. These are the two great personalities who proposed law of mass action. The statement goes like this. The rate of a reaction is directly proportional to the product of active masses of reactants. Here, these words, active masses, represents nothing but the molar concentration of reactants participating at the point of reaction. So, once again, law of mass action is rate of reaction directly proportional to the product of active masses of reactants. Let us understand this in detail using a balanced equation. As considered earlier, let a reaction of the type A times A, B times B, giving C times C, D times D. Let us consider this equation. According to the statement, rate is directly proportional to the product of, the word product here means the multiplication, the product of active masses of reactants. Reactant A to the power A, reactant B to the power B. And in this statement, there is no point of consideration about the product concentrations. So let us not worry about the products in this case, just consider the reactants. So rate is proportional to active masses. These two terms are the concentration terms raised to their appropriate coefficients or powers. Coefficients are written as powers. Now, this is an inequality. We have a proportionality in this representation. Let us change it to an equation. Then it becomes rate equals, introduce a constant, let it be small letter k, into A power A into B power B. Now this constant, small letter k, is the proportionality constant and called as rate constant. So small letter k is called as rate constant. Let us define this rate constant next. Rate constant represented as small letter k. As given in this above equation, rate is equal to k into product of active masses of reactants A and B. Then k will be equal to rate divided by active masses of A and B, the reactants. When the molar concentrations of A and B are considered as unity, that is 1 mole per liter, then K will be equal to rate. This is our conclusion. So using this equation, let us define what is rate constant. Rate constant is the rate. K is the rate of reaction. That is what we have proved here. Is the rate of reaction when the molar concentrations of reactants, when the molar concentrations of reactants are unity. So rate constant is the rate of reaction when the molar concentrations of reactants are unity. And the rate constant will have a definite unit, but the unit of rate constant depends upon the powers of concentration terms as well. So even the small letters A and B define and decide the unit of rate constant K. So Here I am not going to mention the standard unit of rate constant. After the discussion of another two concepts, let us see in detail what are the different possibilities of the units of rate constant K. The first concept to understand is molecularity of a reaction. Let's see the definition. The sum of coefficients of reactants in a balanced chemical equation is molarity, molecularity. Or it can be defined as the sum of the powers of concentration terms in a rate equation obtained from a balanced chemical equation. So we need to consider the balanced chemical equation from which, on observing the coefficients of reactants, we can say what is the molecularity of reaction. To understand this, let us once again consider a balanced chemical equation of the type A times A, B times B, giving C times C, D times D. Let us assume this is a balanced chemical equation. From the definition, the sum of coefficients of reactants is the molecularity. That means molecularity of this reaction is equal to A plus B simply. Let's take an example. If a reaction is of the type H2 plus O2 gives H2O, this is not a balanced equation. First balance it. This becomes 2H2 plus O2 giving 2H2O. Now in this case, the molecularity is equal to 2 plus 1, that is 3. So any such chemical equation which is balanced can give us the information easily about molecularity. Okay. Even from the other definition, the sum of powers of concentration terms in a rate equation obtained from a balanced chemical equation. Already this is a balanced chemical equation. Apply law of mass action. So I say, according to law of mass action, rate is written as small k, which is rate constant, into concentration of A power A into concentration of B power B. Now from this is the rate equation. From this we can say the molecularity as sum of the powers A and B. Powers are A and B, therefore molecularity is A plus B. So this is the way of expressing molecularity of a reaction. Now let's move on to the second concept. Order of a reaction. This is defined as the sum of the powers of concentration terms in a rate equation obtained experimentally. The difference between molecularity and order is mainly that order is experimental value and molecularity is a theoretical value. Molecularity can be obtained from a simple balanced equation, whereas order is obtained only by performing the experiment. So, to understand this, if I once again consider the chemical equation of the type A times A, B times B gives C times C, D times D. Let's say this is a balanced equation. From this, according to law of mass action, rate is given as K into A power A, B power B, and hence the molecularity becomes A plus B. But we are talking about order of reaction. To understand this, I write experimentally. When we perform the experiment of this equation, that is the reaction equation, we may know that rate is given as K into A to the power X, B to the power Y. As mentioned in the equation, the experiment may not happen. it may follow a different path. In such cases, experiment gives us a different data. It may give a different data or same data, but on performing experiment, we will know a rate equation. From that rate equation, if we add the powers x and y, that sum of the powers becomes order of reaction. So this is the difference. To understand better the difference between molecularity and order, I would consider an example. In this case, I am writing the equation of reaction between hydrogen and chlorine to produce HCl. This is already a balanced equation. From this equation, on applying law of mass action, we can write that rate is equal to K into concentration of H2 into concentration of Cl2. Now look at the powers of H2 and Cl2. They are 1 and 1. Therefore, molecularity of this reaction is 1 plus 1, that is 2. The meaning of this molecularity 1 plus 1 is, if I collect a data of H2, Cl2 and HCl obtained during this reaction experiment, on considering 1 unit of H2, 1 unit of Cl2, we get 2 units of HCl. When I say unit, it can be mass or volume. So, let us assume 1 liter hydrogen, 1 liter chlorine is giving 2 liters HCl as per the balanced equation and the data of molecularity. Now, if we double the amount of H2 and maintain the amount of chlorine as unity, then there must be increase in the rate, because H2 becomes 2H2, rate gets doubled. That means we must get the HCl double the amount. Similarly, if I consider 1 liter of hydrogen, 2 liters of chlorine, on applying in this equation, I must get the amount of HCl double the amount expected. Now, on increasing both hydrogen and chlorine to 2 liters, I must get 2 into 2 into 2, that is 8 liters of HCl. Now this is the meaning of molecularity of the reaction. But on performing the experiment, let's assume we have a cylinder containing 1 liter of hydrogen gas and another cylinder containing 1 liter of chlorine. Let's assume we have made all the arrangements to react H2 with chlorine, Cl2, at a common point. Now there must be HCl formed in this experiment. But now we understand that the reaction between H2 and Cl2 is not so feasible unless there is a presence of diffused sunlight. Now, on allowing sunlight to fall on this mixture, the reaction happens. So, in this case, if I follow the data collected from molecularity, on doubling the amount of hydrogen, say the amount of hydrogen is increased to 2 liters. Now, can we expect the formation of HCl increased by 2 units? Certainly no, because here the reaction is not depending on how much of H2 we have in the cylinder. Instead, it is depending upon how many photons of sunlight falling on the reaction mixture. So, the rate is not depending on H2 is what we have understood from this. H2 is not playing any role in changing the rate of reaction. Therefore, its power becomes 0. Similarly, if I double the amount of chlorine to 2 liters, from this data we have understood that there should be increase of the rate by 2 units. But once again, the rate of formation of HCl is depending on number of photons of sunlight and not on chlorine. Therefore, even the chlorine has no role in changing the rate of this reaction. So, H2 power has become 0, Cl2 power has become 0 on performing the experiment. So, I have done this experiment and found that rate is not depending on H2 and Cl2. Now from this equation, if I add the powers, I will get the order as 0. So the reaction H2 plus Cl2 giving 2HCl had a molecularity value 2, which was suggesting so many details like this. But on doing the experiment, we understood that rate is not depending on H2 and Cl2, and therefore order of reaction is 0. So molecularity and order are mainly differed by the concept. Molecularity is considered based on balanced equation, order is considered based on experimental rate equation. So this is the difference between molecularity and order. Well, some more concepts of this chapter, chemical kinetics, I am going to discuss in my coming videos. Thank you.